Hey. Okay, going into the first game, which is an enormous opportunity for the entire team. This is our first chance to play full-speed football and get after it and see where we are. So it's really exciting to get a chance to finally unveil us and remind these guys that it's just football and all that, but they got to go out and block tackle for the first time. So it's an important transition that we make, and we're going to weigh this heavily in the evaluations and all as we go forward. As far as the game is concerned, we're going to this is opportunity for the young guys, and this is the game that we dedicate to the rooks. It's their first game in the NFL ever, and we make somewhat of a big deal about it tonight, and kind of share the experience, make sure that it's one that they remember. We think it's worthwhile to do it that way. And in that also, we're going to play our young guys a ton. You'll see that, and I'm not going to share them all with you because not everybody knows how this is going to work, but there'll be some mixes in the starting lineup that you'll see right from the get-go, and some guys won't play in this game. But it's really the game to get the season started and get these young guys rolling and give them the opportunity to compete like we want to compete around here. We want to see these guys, see if they can help our football team, and they can't do it just watching. They need to get out and play. So excited for that and looking forward to it, and it's really fun to be coming out and see Link first chance and all that. So we'll see if we can show you some good ball.
With those young guys, what's the most important thing for them to get out of it? Is it just the physical side of it? Is it the game day experience?
Well, we're gonna take everything into account, but they got to get going. Physically, they got to get to running and hitting going, and that's what's most important to me right now. Is that we take the learning and all of the prep to the field and allow us to go out and express ourselves physically. This game's got to be played hard and tough, and our whole football team is based on a physical aspect, and I'd like to see that show up right off the bat. So we'll hopefully, if we don't get done, we'll get done next week. So we'll try to get done right off the bat.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got an issue that we're dealing with that we're going to attend to after the game. He's going to play in the game. He's going to start the game and get a chance to play some good football for us. But we're going to fix him up after that.
Coach, one of the rookies that has been kind of all over the place for you for.
No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Please, by all means.
For camp this year is Ugo Amadi out of Oregon. Can you tell me what you've seen from him this training camp and what you're looking forward to seeing from him in the game?
Yeah, well, he's done a really nice job of learning what we're doing. He's playing two spots. He's playing safety and he's playing the nickel spot. Anxious for him to compete at both, but he's handled all of the learning well. He's been real active on the field. He's been available for everything, so he's been reported in great shape. He showed his speed and his movement right off the bat. So now we just got to get him out there and see him play our style of ball and see where we are. And the competition at that spot is really keen, and he's going to get a shot at it. And so he'll play quite a bit at the nickel spot in this game.
Russell Wilson won't play tomorrow night.
I know I said that like he's not playing, didn't I? Because I said that Gino's starting. He'll start when he plays. Yeah, Russell's not going to play tomorrow night. I'll tell you. I don't mind telling you.
Is that a little bit?
That's what you wanted to know.
Is that a little bit of a different emphasis? I mean, Russell has usually started at least a series or two the first preseason.
A little bit of a different emphasis in that. Yeah, he's not starting.
So Gino's having surgery?
Let's talk about that after the game, okay? If we can.
But in general, is there a little bit more of an emphasis to get the young guys, I guess, going a little more?
Yeah, I think more than ever, we have a lot of guys that we need to play. We've got a big competition in the quarterback position in particular. We want these guys to play as much as they can and play their way into their spots. And I don't want this to be decisions that we have to make without a lot of great information. So that's what's most important right now. So we have a lot of competition at the receiver spot. We have a lot of competition in the offensive line. We're going to be able to play a lot of guys in this game and see how they can do.
Talking to Shaq this week, it sounds like this defensive unit has put in a lot of work this offseason away from the field to make their on-the-field chemistry a little bit better. How have you seen this team, the defensive unit in particular, come together this offseason?
Yeah, really, both sides of the ball, and led by the defense, have spent a lot of time kind of in a setting in the classroom that has been very competitive, and it's been directed at accountability, where guys really have to stand up and show and tell what they know, and in that it's been a really vocal group, particularly on defense, and they've had a lot of chance to show that they understand what we're doing in not just the X's and O's, but in concept and principle and philosophy as well. And so the process of getting through that, I think that's what he's referring to, has given us a chance to really interact a lot and grow together, and guys know each other really well, and that always bodes well for chemistry, and also it's been pretty obvious. So I'm anxious to see how it conveys over the next month, of ball games and see where we are.
You talked about the unselfishness that they want to play with together. They've been bowling and eating and doing all this stuff together. Have you seen that's been a little bit more this offseason than maybe in off-seasons past?
I think if you remember when I was talking about these guys coming out of the season and just my feeling about where we were going to be headed with these guys, really, they took off running with this thing when we got back in April and have worked really hard to give ourselves the kind of relationships that are critically important when to play as a team, and that's to know each other and be ready to support one another and help the guy across from you be at his best, and that's really been at the forefront of the process. And so again, you're going to see the defense. Not all of the guys will be together out there in this first game, but the process is well underway, and I'm really happy with what they've done with that. And they put a lot of effort in to do that. They've presentations that they've given, the opportunities to get in front of the defense and to speak and talk and show what they know and what they don't know. It's been really fun, and it's been a great process to watch. So hopefully it'll help us out.
I think this is the first time Russ hasn't started preseason opener. Is this a product of the experience you had at the backup now?
It is somewhat. It's it has to do with other guys playing and not playing as well too. So there's a little bit bigger thought than just that. I think he usually plays like the first 3 plays, and basically that's what we do. So what I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday we had a big practice for the ones. They had tons of work out here. It was a little bit different emphasis for us, where they got really almost twice as much work as they normally would get going into a game to compensate for the plays that they don't get. And I think that we might have gained ground by doing it that way. So we had more competition with the ones against ones out here that they won't get if they were going to play a handful of plays in the first game. So I think we've made an effort to get more out of this process than to get less out of by them not playing in the game. So it's really dedicated again to the young guys, and you'll see the lineups, and they're a mixture of guys playing and all with really specific decisions along the way. So once the game gets going, it'll be like a very classic first game.
Every year around this time, we'll talk about preseason too long, 4 games, should we go down to 2 games? Do you have any thoughts on the length of the preseason? What kind of value do you
Well, I usually don't. I don't feel like passing judgment on the system that everybody's decided and agreed upon. And not that everybody likes it, but we got 4 games, and these 4 games to us, every one of these games are the games to block and tackle. We don't do it out here on our practice field full speed, taking them to the ground, because we have the games. So that's why the games are so important to us. It's not so much about the winning and losing. It's really about the guys getting their game going and getting right and showing us where they are technically and physically, so that we can adapt and then go back to the next week and see if we can fix things. And by the time the month's over, we have guys really primed and ready to go. So that's the games are enormously important, and we gauge the playing time accordingly, hopefully to get these guys to peak at the right time to start the season off.
Are there certain guys that you can remember that did something in a preseason game that maybe you didn't see out here during camp, but in that setting they stood out?
A guy jumps out. Rasheem Green really had a good preseason last year, and showed us that he belonged, and he got nicked a little bit early in the year, but he did show us that he was a good fit. It seems to be that I think Chris Carson a couple of years ago showed us, some stuff that we liked right off the bat, and he started off the season ready to go. It was the guys who come in with circumstances. Like, remember, Chris didn't play a whole lot, or some guys that have been hurt or whatever. They don't get a chance to show themselves, but we see something in them. When they start to get their chances, they really give us information, somewhat for the first time, and it can happen where it can really help them out.
After Geno Smith plays tomorrow, will you have seen enough to make a determination on him for the whole season?
Absolutely not. I mean, no. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I will not. There's no reason to do that, Greg. Let's take all the time that we have available and let them play and show how they can respond to what they did. And it's not just about one performance, because really anybody can go out and do really well. It's, can you come back and do it again and again and again? And so, this is. No, we think he's going to be okay for the second game too. Was what the plan is.
A lot of those running backs we had, like Preseason and McKissick.
Excuse me for a second. We have an unusual length between these 2 games, that we're going to try to take full advantage of. I really believe that the 3 days next week, after we come back from this game, are really the heart of this this training camp for us. I would like to come out of those 3 days, and we'll go into a break, and then we'll have the prep for the next ball game. After those 3 days, we really have a great feel for where we're going with the first group, at least. Not necessarily with the young guys, but with the first guys, we should have a really good sense for what we're doing and how things fit together, and start to figure out the roles. And then we'll let the young guys peck away at all that, and see if they can chip away and find spots to help out as we move forward.
A lot of we didn't see like Preseason, McKissick, and Travis Homer all out there. Will those guys be able to play tomorrow?
CJ came up with he's got a little hip thing that's tweaked. He's got a little first-degree sprain that we have to acknowledge and just take care of him. He's, unfortunately, as we've been waiting for CJ for a long time, and unfortunately came up with a little something, so he's going to miss this game. Homer has a bit of a quad strain that's going to keep him from going as well, and we don't know about him. We'll see JD in pregame, see how he does. He's got a sore foot.
Talking about different returners getting chances and looking at them, how much do you see them in the game action to kind of assess that?
Well, it gives us a chance to see where guys are. I'm anxious to see David Moore get a couple returns in this game and get him going, and Keenan Reynolds has a shot to get some stuff going, and then we'll work our way down. Marty might get a chance, and there's a couple other guys we hope that will get some opportunities. So. But David Moore's the guy I'm most interested in right now to see how he does and see how comfortable he is back there. He's strong and physical, and he's looked really good when he runs with the ball, and he's got terrific hand-eye stuff. So, but he'll get the lead shot, he and Keenan.
DK will be able to play?
Yeah, he's ready to go. Yeah.
Lado Hill looks like he's kind of on the way back.
Yeah, he's almost there. He can't play in this game, but next week will be a full, really, by the 2 sets of practices that we'll have before the next game, he should be ready to go. He looks great. It's great to have him back out. With his injury, he lost quite a bit of weight, and his weight went down to, he lost 20 pounds, and he had to he looks in beautiful shape right now. He looked great last couple of days. He's just not enough background to play him yet. But that's a real important player for us to figure into the competition. Leno had a really good finish to the year last year, and we were really excited about all things that he was doing. And so, we just need that to be as competitive as can be. And by the time he gets back, he'll be ready to crank it up. So next week should be really important for him, and then the following week would be the one that will tell us if he's ready to go for the game.
Any update on LJ Collier and where he is on things?
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, he did visit with the docs. He traveled to do that, and gave him a really good update, and that everything's in line, and he's out of the boot. He's moving. It should be a normal process now, bringing him back as he can handle and tolerate. He'll come back to us. So I can't. It's be ridiculous for me to make a guess on that one, but we're real encouraged, and so it's nothing beyond what we thought and all that kind of stuff. So we're in good shape.
Will Disley, is he going to play tomorrow?
We're going to hold Will in this game. Yeah, Will he's done beautifully. Yeah, he's had his best day since he's been back. Just yesterday, he looks great. He's ready to go. But we want to wait again. We didn't think that Will would be this far along, so he's way ahead of schedule, and we're just going to not push the issue right now.
Dixon, I guess, any update on that?
Yeah, he did. He got surgery yesterday on his knee. Everything went fine, and he's here today for the first time, so he's back. I haven't talked to him here. I talked to him last night, but he feels good and he's ready to go. And it's going to be we're hoping it's a 4 to 5 week deal that we can get him back on.
How about Jake Hollister?
Yeah, Jake got a little groin strain in the early in the big Popkini event, we had, and he made it through it, but he's a little bit stiff by it, so we just want to make sure. Right now, anybody that's even close to having an issue, we hold, and so that does give the other guys an opportunity. Jake has done a really nice job for us. We're really excited about his contribution to us. He's got some different elements to his play that really accents and helps us at that spot. So we're really excited about him.
Will Ben Burkervin be able to play in this game?
Burr's going. Yeah, he's going.
How are Phil Haynes and DeMarcus Christmas coming along at the stage?
I talked to DeMarcus this morning, and the report's back. He's had a couple epidurals to get him back to where he is, and he feels like he's really making a turn right now. So he is conditioning and working. So it's probably another after this next game, he might have a shot to be getting back out there. So Phillips made great progress. He's running and doing some stuff. He's just got to put the weeks behind him just to get back in shape and ready to go.
But Marquise Blair, what have you been able to see out of him the last week or two?
Really, probably as much as anybody out there, we're excited to see him. See him run and hit because he hasn't had a chance to show what he's so unique at. He was really a physical football player. We'd love to see how that fits in. He'll get a chance on special teams, and he'll play a lot of plays in this game.
How would you grade your quarterbacking in the drills out there?
Well, I really first time out, I got to tell you, I was a little rusty. Yeah, I hate to admit it. I hate to admit that, but my pick ratio to touchdowns was not where it needs to be. So I thought the defense they were jacked up to play against me, though. I'll take a little something out of that, a little respect.
Anything else? Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.